before we get to Greg Sargent, this was odd. Donald Trump decided to have a cabinet meeting. We do have moments of obviously the grand fealty that we usually expect to see in a cabinet meeting, not unlike what we do around this office when we have an office meeting. I like to just assemble everybody here and have them tell me how wonderful I am and how much of an honor it is for all of them to be on the program. But before we get to that clip, let's play this clip where the president, as far as I can tell, is talking about a dream that he had.
It's a different country than it was when I became president. Iran, when I became president, I had a meeting at the Pentagon with lots of generals. They were like from a movie, better looking than Tom Cruise and stronger. And I had more generals than I've ever seen. And we were at the bottom of this incredible room. I said, this is the greatest room I've ever seen. I saw more computer boards than I think that they make today. And every part of the Middle East and other places that was under attack because of Iran. And I said to myself, wow. I mean, you look at Yemen, you look at Syria, you look at every place. Saudi Arabia was under siege. They were all, I mean, they wanted Yemen because of the long border with Saudi Arabia. That's why they're there, frankly.
What?
But every place was under siege. And I actually asked the question, how do you stop these people? They're all over the place. They had plenty of money. President Obama had just given them $150 billion.
Who was he even talking about? It was like, honestly, it was just like I had this dream. I woke up, I was in the room, and there was computers. There was more computers than had ever been built.
I'm going to use that long border thing I just learned.
There were so many computers. And then I remembered exactly what I memorized for the quiz about Yemen. And I said it. And all the generals liked me. And they said I was
and
great.
They were strong, so strong.
And they were strong, and their
I'll tell you
jawlines were
something.
perfect. Not like Tom Cruise.
I feel like Anthony Adamaric should sue Trump for doing this now. Like, I feel like he does that. Like, Trump's not even doing it like Trump did it. He's doing it like Adamaric did.
It's like if Dennis Miller literally started saying bop, bop, bop.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I
so there it
realized I
is.
was becoming myself on a satiric TV show on Comedy Central.
Do we have the clip of him also talking about why Russia invaded Afghanistan? I mean, it is
doing lots of studying.
Yeah.
I'm sure he read Steve Cole's Ghost Wars during the shutdown.
Well, first off, the story that he tells about Russia, like, where could he have gotten this from? I mean,
that's a good question. This is Rachel.
No. I mean, honestly, like, there's.
Where did he get that information?
It's beyond Reader's Digest. And, like, he has access to all of these
Bolton.
Advisors, right?
It's Bolton, right?
You think
talking
so?
about Iran?
No,
Iran is Bolton. I don't know
Afghanistan.
where the Russia stuff probably does come from conversation with Putin. No
Probably,
joke.
right?
Like, literally.
Listen to this. This
You
is-
don't have to be
this is-
donut
this
to
is
think
Putin.
that. There's
Like,
nowhere else
just
he would have
remember-
had this conversation, or B, gotten this interpretation from.
The reason why the Soviet Union went into Afghanistan was because they had a client government in Afghanistan that was essentially being assaulted by all fronts because they were so oppressive. And the Russians wanted to maintain their client government. But listen to Donald Trump try and explain the Russian, or I should say the Soviet-Afghanistan conflict.
We're going to do something that's right. We are talking to the Taliban. We're talking to a lot of different people. But here's the thing, because you mentioned India. India is there. Russia is there. Russia used to be the Soviet Union. Afghanistan made it Russia because they went bankrupt fighting in Afghanistan, Russia. So you take a look at other countries. Pakistan is there. They should be fighting. But Russia should be fighting. The reason Russia was in Afghanistan was because terrorists were going into Russia. They were right to be there. The problem is it was a tough fight. And literally they went bankrupt. They went into being called Russia again as opposed to the Soviet Union. You know, a lot of these places you're reading about now are no longer part of Russia because of Afghanistan.
I mean,
So that's really inaccurate. I mean,
Wait,
but
what?
that's like, no, but that's the kind of inaccuracy that it's hilarious to hear him say, and he probably did hear from Putin. But it's also like the broader fear mongering and a just complete lack of historical information could lead a lot of people, I bet, to accept that interpretation.
Oh,
about-
definitely.
And the Russians specifically with their own sort of imperial projection, you got to connect that understanding to justifying what they do in Chechnya. They run their own
Right.
Islamophobic foreign policy.
and then to take the part about how like it turned him into Russia. You know, like I could understand if he was trying to explain this to a 5-year-old, but he's sitting in a room full of people who theoretically at least have a fairly sophisticated understanding of world politics.
I can't
and
believe I'm
history.
doing this, but do you think he was, and again, purely recycled from Putin, was he trying to say, and this, a factor in the Soviet Union collapsing was how much they were bled out by fighting that
Oh,
war.
I-
So
that's-
is he trying to say that in a dumb way?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think that is. I mean, I don't think it was. It certainly wasn't the only reason why.
But it was
the
a big
resources-
factor. No,
it was a big factor, no doubt. But I'm saying, like, he's so dumb that he doesn't have the ability to express that, like, the Soviet Union broke up, and
But they called it Russia.
but
again.
it turned him into Russia.
they had a big meeting, and that guy and
Like, this
and
is how you would explain
Boris Yeltsin.
This is how
who
you would
was a
explain
big
it
fan.
to a 5-year-old.
He loved
But
me.
you're in a room of exclusively adults, sophisticated adults, and you figure out that he's not explaining it to a 5-year-old. He's a 5-year-old.
I'm sorry, tangent and petty tangent. Has Jonathan Chait written a piece about this yet?
Right.
Because I would very much like to see what kind of fever dream that's.
It's like renaming a building. Like they had to rename it.
They had to rename the building.
The
The whole
naming
bu-
rights. They had to sell the naming rights.
That's how he. Yes.
All right. We got to take a break. When we come back,